caught me just checking on the balcony garden, because I've been moving stuff around a little bit because everything's growing. I mean, look at this lot. It's all, remember we put these spinach in just a couple of weeks back, all growing beautifully. Everything's doing very well. We've got the peas at the back, spinach, pak choi, radishes. Oh, look. How about that for a nice little radish? I'll wash that off. That'll be on my tea tonight. That's lovely. What a lovely surprise. And I might even take a few of these spinach leaves in as well, because they're looking a good size, so they can go on with the dinner tonight. It's the first area in my garden to start producing food ready for the kitchen. So I'll get a nice little bunch of these fresh spinach leaves. And these things you'd have to pay for going to Tesco, you know. Oh, we'll have a little bit of that fresh oregano. God, I could actually smell this all day long. But this is the tiny garden. And remember, gardening in a small space is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Well, you know, I've had to come out and do this again. I made one of those simple numpty mistakes. I pressed the button on the camera, but I hit it twice. So I turned it on to record and then I turned it off again. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was, number one, I was out for a walk this morning and I was on the beach and I found an old fish box. Now, I love fish boxes. They're just big planters, ready-made. But normally I give them back to the fishermen because, you know, they use these all the time. But this one's got a great big hole in the bottom, so it was absolutely no use. So I felt okay bringing it home as long as I would use it. So what I've done is I found a little corner next to a wood pile by the door for my shed. I've stuck a little bit of old plastic net up here, stapled up in place. And I've filled the fish box full of compost. Now into that I've popped 4 more of these beautiful little runner beans, English runner beans, the long pods, you know, the big, like, you can get them with string in and that awful, you used to call them string beans, they were horrible. Well, these are a stringless variety. And I've put them in there. And then the idea is that the runner beans will grow up the mesh and up the front of here, and I'll nip them off at the top, so that will give me longer pods. And off each of these beans, as long as they grow okay, I should get about 5 or 6 pounds of runner beans. So there's 20 pounds of food there straight away. The pak choi, I've put these in because I really like making kimchi and I like stir fries. And this stuff's fantastic for stir fry and kimchi. So I'll be making that up probably in a couple of weeks when these get a bit more hot to them. Now as I harvest these and take them out, I'll replace them with more lettuces or spinach or kimchi. Now as long as I keep the compost in here reasonably moist, it gets a bit of sunshine, these should do quite well. Again, a tiny little space that's just had rubbish piled in it. And now it's going to produce me 25 to 30 pounds of food. You can't beat that, can you, really? I mean, for the little bit of effort and the massive bit of return, why not? Number 2 idea. I've got a bit of rough ground under here in this little corner, and you can see I've popped a pumpkin in, but I've also squeezed in a couple more beans. Now I've got a pole here. It could be a washing pole, it could be feeding your birds on like mine is, it could be anything. But with a bit more of that old plastic, all I've done is I've just zippied it directly to the pole. Temporary measure, remember, this all comes out when the growing season's finished, if not beforehand. So I simply stick these together, and as long as I've got enough space for these beans to grow to here, then they'll take off after that and they'll grow all the way up to the top, and I'll end up with another few pounds of beans back from this area. So yet another tiny space. Now I've also got enough space here to pop a few more holes in this plastic when I get it secured, and I can pop a few lettuces in or a few other crops that will grow faster than what this baby will. This will be in the ground for months and months. I'll be harvesting these in October. Lettuces will only take a couple of weeks and they'll be ready to go. So I can use this ground under here for something else. Or I could just pop a couple of pots on there with some pretty nice flowers in, because that's the kind of guy I am. And number 3. You might remember we started playing around with an old barrel and popping a few beans in here as well. Well, next door, another barrel, I've stuck in a pumpkin. Here I've got one of those lovely beans left. You know, I put it on here last night. Look at it, it's already growing. Climbing bean. So all I'm going to do with this is pop it in the side of the barrel. Tiny space, mind you, it's an absolutely tiny space. Look at the roots. If your plants look like that, open them up a little bit. Don't leave them going round and round in circles, because it's like a maze for the roots, they get lost. So you just open them up gently on the bottom. You see the edge there? And then plant it in. Take it in nice and deep. Cover it over. And if you've already got a runner, don't be too precious about where to put it. Just let the plant decide where it wants to go. So here we've got a whole bunch of pak choi in here again. One or two nice little weeds coming up. Some French runner beans and an English runner bean. Again, another tiny space tucked inside of a tree. Most people say you can't grow by trees, but I think this shows actually you can. Now these will be harvested literally in a couple of weeks, and in their place I can put in radishes, spinach, lettuce, cut and come again, absolutely anything. And because this is a small barrel, it's very easy to look after. Just make sure that the compost doesn't dry out too much or get too wet. And then if you see a hole starting to develop, if you've harvested something, pop a bit in. I've got spinach seeds in here as well, and I can just see some of those tiny spinach starting to come through. So as the pak choi gets harvested, spinach will likely already be there. Now those with sharp eyes might have spotted this little baby down there. That's a rather nasty nettle to some people, but to me, liquid fertiliser in the making. So I'll wait until that gets a bit bigger. I won't let it flower, because once it flowers, the seeds form behind the flower, and I don't want the nettle seed everywhere. So I'll harvest that, chop it up and put it in the fertiliser bin. Idea number 3. Well, I hope you learned something there, and I hope you enjoyed it. But it is now that magical time of day that I personally can't ignore. It's tea time. It's a little chilly, and I'm going in, so I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.